Hello and welcome to the Halftime Report here on Bear Football, part of the Barroom Network. John Buffone alongside Danny Shimon. The Bears trailing 24-7 at halftime to the Green Bay Packers in what only can be called a you-know-what of a half. They just in Chicago Bear-like fashion, they give you a little bit of hope to latch upon, and then it quickly dissipates, and here we are talking about a three-score game. Initial reaction to the first half, Danny?
Yeah, just like you said, I mean, start off the Packers come out with that field goal. Bears respond right back with a nice long drive and get that touchdown, go up 7-3. Like, all right, Bears are here, ready to play, and that's been it basically. I mean, if this was a boxing fight, John, something that were aware of, and if you're in the corner of the Bears, you're looking to throw that towel right now because it's a beatdown right now. So, they're getting plunged really by that that offensive line of the Packers. They're just kind of running over that Bears defensive front. And the offense, unfortunately, is not helping them either in terms of the defense because they're not holding on to the ball, getting a couple first downs, giving that defense some time to rest there. They're just three and out after that first drive. I think in time of possession, if I'm not mistaken, it's double here in the Packers' favor. I think it's 20 minutes to like 9 minutes for the Bears in terms of time of possession. So, it's just an all-around beatdown right now by the Packers in that first half, even with at the end of the half, the 32 seconds left, I believe a full complement or maybe actually two timeouts remaining. What do you got to lose, right? You're already down by 17 points. Let's kind of push the ball down the field. Even if you get in within a field goal range, of Santos, maybe get a field goal there, cut that deficit down to a little bit there by 3 points. And now you get the ball in the second half, get that momentum going. But I was disappointed there to see that Eberflus decided to go ahead and just kind of eat it, that screen pass and let time run out. So, really, like I said, if it's got off to an encouraging start, but now it's just a beatdown right now. So let's see how they respond in the second half.
Yeah, a couple things. The Packers have already rushed for 92 yards in the first half. Both running backs are running downhill. They're getting to the second level a lot. But you know what? When you have an opportunity when it's second and 28 and
Right.
you can't get off the field in a game where you need to get off the field against Aaron Rodgers, second and 28, and they still could not get off the field. As you see, if you're watching the YouTube version here, the video version here, you can see some of these highlights where it may be a little pixely, but you understand what the hell's going on because the Bears are getting absolutely trucked through every level of the defense. So I don't know what adjustments you're going to make defensively because they can't stop the run right now. They came out, they look good. They got Rodgers on the ground a few times, but the secondary is getting diced up a little bit. They can't stop the run, and so far, I don't know what hope to latch onto here. On the offensive side of the ball, Danny, I think they eventually have to let Justin Fields play quarterback. He has 6 pass attempts in the first half, and you're down 3 scores. He's going to have to start throwing the ball down the field eventually. I know that maybe he's not getting the protection he needs. I know that he stepped over the line by probably 2 yards to try to complete a pass. But you know what? If this is going to be the guy, you got to start uncorking some balls here because eventually he's going to have to win you games and you're going to have to win some shootouts, and throwing screen passes at the end of the half whenever you're down three scores ain't going to do it. So what do you anticipate in the second half?
Exactly. I mean, and the thing, besides just letting him be a quarterback and get the ball down the field, just let's go get some, hand the ball off to Montgomery and Herbert. I know that initial drive, it was Montgomery for majority of that drive down the field. What it does there is you get the ball going in terms of getting some yards there for Montgomery, getting him kind of lathered up there, getting the chains moving, and you give the defense some time to kind of rest on that sideline. Now, again, unfortunately, they're down by 17 points here at halftime, so they might kind of think, well, might be too late. But for me, it's like that's this first possession in the second half. Let's come out. Let's do what we did in that first drive. Let's kind of run the ball, get those first downs, get the ball moving down the field, and then hopefully get some points on the board. That's key right now. If you don't get points on the board in this first drive, and the Packers come back out and just kind of continue to gush the Bears defensively, like I said, it's all she wrote. But the only thing is, like, defensively, what you could do is right now that they're playing a lot of that split alignment where they kind of have that middle open there and kind of relying on their their linebackers to go ahead and kind of fill those gaps or fill those holes. And unfortunately, I saw a couple of times Roquan got turned around, in terms of his ability to come downhill and trying to stop that run. Moore has been out of position a couple of times, and the rookie Gordon a couple of times whiffed on a couple of tackle attempts. So there's plenty of blame to go around in terms of defense, but just kind of maybe bunch up that middle, just kind of concentrate and let's load up on the run and see if we can stop them. And I hate to say this, but let's see if Aaron Rodgers can beat us down the field with some of these receivers, right? And so far, he's got 2 touchdown passes. One was that flick, handoff to kind of to Aaron Jones for a touchdown. So let's make him and these receivers beat us, I think, because Aaron Jones is just killing us right now in terms of their rushing attack. So let's see. I mean, unfortunately, there might be no answers here, but at least concentrate on the run, make him a little bit one-dimensional. And if Aaron Rodgers beats you, he beats you. He's a great player, but I can't believe I just said that. Let's let Aaron Rodgers beat us. But at this point, it's like you got to try something different, right? Other than what you did in the first half.
Yeah, I don't want to see the defense continuously getting run over and just have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon both run for over 100 yards. Just try to lock that up. And if you give up a big play in the air, you're going to give up a big play in the air. It's Aaron Rodgers. But I don't like watching the defensive line get blown up and then seeing running backs, 5 and 6 yards before they have their first, they get their first point of contact on a run. I don't want to see that anymore. And to your point on the offensive side of the ball, I think Montgomery's averaging over 6 yards a carry. I know that it's not going to be a little long to establish a run game now, but he was running the ball relatively efficiently. So kind of what they did in the first half, try to get Montgomery going a little bit again. He rushed the ball 5 times for 33 yards. They probably could have did a little bit more there. I'm just not sure what the offensive strategy after that first drive was.
Exactly. It's like they looked like, all right, we got a little more carried away with ourselves here. It's trying to give some of these passes. Again, the first couple of plays where it's either a 5-yard false start penalty or you do that little slip screen to Mooney, he gets dropped down. Those negative plays are putting this team behind the 8 ball or behind the chains as well. Offensively, they don't have that much talent to be able to make up those 2nd and 28s like the Packers just did in two separate plays. So, that was a crushing play there. That series of plays for that Bears defense, 2nd and 28, and the Packers get that first down within the next 2 plays. So that is bad. But yeah, offensively, clean up some of these penalties. Bears have been a very good in terms of not creating penalties, not kicking themselves. But we've seen a false start, we've seen a couple of holding penalty. We've seen some negative plays here. So clean that up. You come out here and this is the second half of that first drive, you put some points on the board, preferably a touchdown. It's a 10-point game, and you right back into it again. Now you breathe some fresh air into that defense, some encouragement into the team entirely. So that this first drive in the second half is going to be key for me.
Yeah, and much to your point, this team cannot afford to have bad first downs. They can't afford to take 5-yard losses. They can't afford to have false starts. They can't afford to take a sack on a pass. They can't afford to be 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, 2nd and 15. It just ain't going to work. They got to be efficient on first down. They got to chip away to try to keep the chains moving. And speaking about some of those penalties, I know a lot of people, and especially in the chat room, are talking about the refs and the missed holding calls and all that other stuff. Yeah, I see them, and I agree. And the refs are somewhat bad, but the Bears are somewhat bad right now too. I'm not going to put all of that on the referees, because the play on the field is just as bad. If I thought that it was if I thought it was a deciding factor, I might be a little more fired up about it, but I don't see that. I don't think that's the reason why the Bears are losing the way that they are losing right now. As far as I know, that we were a little doom and gloom last week in San Francisco, but it was a much closer game, and it seemed like there was still a chance to kind of get back into it. This may not have that same feeling, but if they're going to do one thing in the second half, what do they have to do to creep back in this? We talked about some things already. Is it they have to establish the run game and control the ball a little bit more, because you're down 3 scores? You're gonna have to get some kind of quick strike points at some point, I imagine.
Right. For me, that this first drive here, opening second half, is going to be key, like I said earlier, and create some turnovers. Right, either punch the ball out, create a fumble. I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw an interception, so it's going to be a little bit hard to ask him get an interception. But if you can get that ball on the ground, create some turnovers, get your offense in a portion of the field where they can put out some quick points, that could get you back in the game real quick there. Front 4, Gibson's got 2 sacks, Quinn's got a sack. They're providing some pressure there on Aaron Rodgers. So I think they're doing a solid job. It's just a run defense, I think, has really let us down in this first half. So I'm talking about offensively, they're doing nothing to give this defense any sort of a breather on the sidelines here. So I think that this first drive in the second half is going to be key, and then also hoping creating some turnovers, whether it's on special teams or on defense. That's what the Bears need to do.
I was just going to say, if they can create a turnover to get some kind of momentum going, then that's going to go a long way. I'm not saying this game is completely over, but because they made adjustments last week, so let's see what they come out. And that's once again something that we're not necessarily accustomed to. Maybe seeing a different game plan going into the second half. So let's see what they want to do. But or what they're going to do, but they dug themselves in a little bit of a hole, because I thought they came out and they had a lot of momentum. They came off. I thought they responded great to the defense getting off the field in the first drive. They were holding the Packers to 3. They go down, they drive the ball, they did the flea flicker. All this stuff is going in their favor, and then par for the course, things just start falling apart in Lambeau. And so I'm hoping that the team mentality, not just the game plan, but the player mentality stays strong, that they believe that they're still in this game. We're gonna see what some of that new culture is actually breeding. Whenever you have your feet to the fire and you're down 3 scores and you're playing against a team that for all intents and purposes has more talent at this point, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the second half is about to kick off. Danny will be joining us at the end of the game. So will Tyler Gaines Ellis. We might even have some more people drop by. So make sure you stick by the Barroom Network for the post-game show. Enjoy the second half, everybody.